Be brave and tell me what the how I find the X-intercept. Start with that. Go ahead.
You said 0 x minus 2
Good. Okay, so my X-int is going to be -5 over 2, comma 0. Great. All right, Y-int. Somebody else, please. Yeah, go ahead.
So you're going to say x equal to 0, so that's y equals 2 times 0 plus 5 over 0.
That's conveniently also going to be -5 over 2. Whoa.
Whoa. Same with your asymptotes.
All right, here we go. Let's do our vertical asymptote, then we'll do horizontal. Can someone be brave and give me the vertical asymptote? Alan, go ahead. So the vertical asymptote is all I need to see. Okay, horizontal asymptote is going to be a little more complicated. I'm going to start with f of x is equal to 2x plus 5 over x minus 2. I'm just going to write subbing in infinity so we what? So it says subbing in infinity gives infinity or infinity. If you don't like so we what? Go ahead. Yeah, good. So we're going to divide everything.
Should I just show our normal work for it?
You can probably cut it out. You can probably cut it, but at least tell me what you're doing here, okay? So I'm going to say f of x. You can tell me it's 2 plus 5 over x over 1 minus 2 over x if you want to. I'm going to show it since it's our first day today, but okay, what's that going to do for us now? What's our new equation for f of x going to be? Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
x plus 4.
Yeah, good. So you said x, that should be 2, I think, so plus 5 over x. All over 1 minus 2 over x. Great. That's our new equation. Okay. And this is conveniently going to work for both of them. Can somebody tell me what f of infinity will be, please? Go ahead.
So it's going to be 2 plus 2 over infinity.
F infinity is going to be 2. Okay, can someone else tell me that negative infinity? Can't help but I get quickly going and wait until calculus all of you. That's right. Broken one person in here. Not to say that person is. Didn't you say he's stroking his
You should prove that f of infinity equals 2.
No, I'm not going to. No. Okay, sorry, I'm just saying I'm not. Technically, that's going to be 2 minus 0 over 1 plus 0. So f of negative infinity is going to be 2. Okay, now, as far as the plus and the minus, now you guys got me thinking and worried about that now, just so people want to be exact, okay? This is going to be a little bit more than 2 divided by a little bit less than 1, so the answer technically is going to be a little bit more than 2, okay? Same thing here, a little bit less than 2 divided by a little bit more than 1 is going to be a little bit less than 2, right? So if you're looking for the plus minus thing, that would have to be 1 sec, 1, 2, go ahead.
So the f of infinity and f of negative infinity, those numbers all be the same?
Today it will be. Today it will be. Today it will be. Like for these types of questions, like if it's the ax plus b all over cx plus b, those types of questions it will be. Yes. Sorry.
Here, I'm just gonna say that just if they really wanted to, for the little plus that you would have here and the little minus you'd have here, you just call it a little number to be proper, that and minus that here, And then that would be, it's like if you're in doing your labs or whatever in like physics, this or that, you always have an error. So in math, when you're using infinity, there's always going to be a small error. But since it's so small that it's like a 1 divided by like a gajillion, then we just say it's 2 because it basically is 2. So that's why. So if you really wanted to call it something, you call it that, but it doesn't really matter because it's basically 2.
So like it's so microscopic. Like,
Yeah.
like
Why did you teach me once and just do that?
what's that?
You find it right over.
See how they hate me? They hate me.
That's just
They hate me.
He's doing a hard work. I'm just doing the little thing.
No, they hate me. That's
I think
fine.
you're
No
He's
hair.
in his
nothing happens.
prime.
See what they're doing here?
Sadie's in his prime.
See what they're doing to me here? This is what I get all day long.
sorry, I'm here.
Okay, there we go. So the vertical, after all that work, we know the horizontal asymptote is y can I equal 2. Okay, so I'm going to graph this quickly, then I'm done for, am I done?
Yeah, you're
And
done.
I'm done for today after this one, okay? Because they're all the same, it's just like this, okay? Alright. Okay, now please be brave and ask. It's just the infinity part, it's the only leading part there. 1, 2, go ahead.
So it's not it wouldn't be -2.
No.
Well, it's just not.
Right, because it's just the coefficients of the first ones, right? Like whether this is plus or anything after this, basically 0 and 0 don't really matter, right? It's just going to be basically what we're going to learn the next few days is the coefficient of this one divided by the coefficient of that one. That's what it's going to work. Because 5 divided, and then everything else just cancels out, right? It's over big. Yeah.
When we graph these vaccines,
Oh.
like we have to, like I don't ask for the intercepts, we have to leave up to like the other half.
You have to be, in general, yes. Okay, I want to do as best as you can. If it's not perfect, I can live with that, okay, but I want it to be at least, like this graph isn't perfect either, but it's pretty darn close, okay, right? So again, the point that we had here was 6,3, which is way up here, but it's very difficult based on my scale to get the graph actually looking the way it is, so I sort of changed it, okay?
Make sure you show your key points, right?
Yeah,
Like show
very
your
good, yeah.
intercepts, show your asymptotes, and then roughly sketch the graph for it.
Because the teachers, I mean, I'd love to say that, I mean, every single point on your graph matters, right? And it does, but the key things I'm looking for will be either certain points, like you said, asymptotes I'm looking for. You guys know, you haven't seen how badly I draw triangles yet, pretty badly. So I can take it if your curves aren't quite, you know, perfectly the way it should look there, right? As long as it's sort of in the right idea there, okay? All right, let's draw this quickly, then we'll call it a day here. All right. All right, so what do we have here? -2, +2, and they're both -5/2. Is that right? I think so. Okay, so I'm going to count by 2s here because I have to get. Okay, so I'm going to do my asymptotes first, which is +2 for both of them, which is nice. +2 goes there, and +2 goes there. Oh, not quite. Close enough. Oh no, since I just made a big deal of it. So I just made a big deal about that, it's not good enough. All right, we had -5/2 for both of them, okay? And -5/2. I'm just going to connect the dots. And based on your scale, it's going to get down there. It's not right based on your scale. Okay. Now, if I wanted to do a test point here, what would be a suitable test point to do for the right-hand side? F4 sounds good to me. Okay. So I'm going to do F4 equals 2 times 4. Plus 5 all over 4 minus 2. It's going to be 8 and 5 is 13/2. Okay, 6.5. I can't actually get that high. Okay, so I'm gonna pretend to go something like this.
Can I show another way of just doing that last part?
Of course you can.
So I'm not gonna just try and follow with me here. If you use your equation, your f of x equals I can't even 2x plus 5 over x minus 2. So we're looking for everything that basically we're going to try. Like, you use a test point here, which is a good way of doing it. Another way of thinking of it is as my x gets really, really close to 2 here from this direction. So if I get really, really close to here, and so this number is going to be basically really close to 2, but there's going to be a bunch of decimal points, so it's going to be a little bit greater. And it's going to go 0, 0, blah, 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 all the way to like here. If I would divide that number out, basically I'm going to be left with a divisor of 1 over a tiny, tiny number. What's that going to mean? Like, if you divide a really, really tiny number by a regular number, what does that mean? Huge, right? Basically infinity, right? So what's going to happen when you get really, really close to 2? Just like it happened here, it's going to go away and shoot up big. So that's another way of understanding that as your graph gets closer to 2, you're going to get really big. Same idea of an asymptote. You're really close to it and you touch it. Either you're going this way or that way. And so there's 2 ways of doing it. Choose which one's easier for you, basically. That's the best way to...
Well, since I love you, read those three.
Okay.
All right, you good? Sort of good? Okay, that's all I got for today. We are going to do for tonight. Your homework will be. My homework tonight's to market test and assignments. Is my homework. So we all got
3 classes are 2, bro.
only 2. My 3rd class has a test tomorrow. That's why I have to get all this stuff done so they don't.
Are you doing bi-weekly tests? Yeah. These guys.
All right. 2, 5, 6, ace, and 10. And to Alana, I hope you won the basketball game.